He is 9-2. Larry Johnson up front with Patrick Ewing in the middle and Latrell Spreewell at the small forward spot. Ex-Piston Allen Houston and Charlie Ward, the Heisman Trophy winner, at the guard positions. Jeff Van Gundy, always under the microscope in New York, but the fact he got his team to the NBA Finals last year earned him a long-term contract when he almost appeared to be out of a job. For the Pistons, the consistent fivesome for Alvin Gentry, Grant Hill, Terry Mills, Christian Laettner, knock on wood, and injury-free. Ditto the backcourt duo of Jerry Stackhouse and Lindsey Hunter. And Stack says he's taken upon himself to step up tonight against Allen Houston and company. Alvin Gentry did his good deed yesterday, helping to sell Girl Scout cookies at practice for a little girl who's a member of his church. In fact, the Piston players bought up about 150 boxes of the stuff. He's a salesman. All right, the Knicks come into this ball game, winning last night at home against Chicago. They were up by 27 points, though. Barely blew the lead 1 by 1, and the head coach was not very happy after the ball game.
Well, you get what you deserve in this game, and we deserve to be up by 25, and we deserved to almost lose the game. It's the bottom line.
Repeatedly, Van Gundy said, I don't want to say any more because I'm afraid of what I might say. In fact, he had the same conversation with his players after the game, as New York did escape with a home court win. But in back-to-back situations, Latrell, Spreewell and company, only 2-6 this year, Greg, when they've had to play the second half of back-to-backs.
Much better the first leg of the back-to-backer where they're 7-2. The Pistons need to jump on them tonight, keep the pace quick as we talked about in our keys, and see just how fatigue could possibly play a role in this game against the Knicks.
And let's see if it is Spreewell guarding Hill. It was not the case on opening night. They reset the jump. Ewing favored, I would say, here. And New York wins the 10. Toss to Ewing right away against Terry Mills. No double team help coming. Ewing missed it though. Rebound one-handed by Laettner.
The one thing Terry Mills will want to do when Ewing catches the basketball, try not to let him back him into the paint area or underneath the basket. If he can force him to take that jump shot, he helps himself defensively.
Bounce toss to Lindsey Hunter. And Lindsey hit the shot.
It's a great start for Detroit. 4 of the 5 players on the floor touched the basketball. They rotated it well and forced the defense to have to rotate. New York unable to get to Lindsey Hunter in time.
LJ was double teamed, looking inside. Ball went off Grant Hill, I believe. No, it's on Charlie Ward, so the Pistons get it. But you're right, Greg. The Pistons are going to look to push the tempo here tonight if they can and try to get on top of this ball club. Maybe it's a league-weary group that comes to town. Johnson fronting Laettner. Christian got away from a double team. Perimeter movement to Mills. Hits the three. 6-0 Detroit.
That again, superb ball movement. Ball went all the way inside the Laettner. He had 2 defenders, one of which was Patrick Ewing. Therefore, once the ball was rotated, no way Ewing was going to get all the way back to Terry Mills to bother that shot.
Larry Johnson, who hit a big 3 last night when it was a 1-point game against the Bulls. Johnson gave it up. Ward bobbled it though. 3 to shoot. Spreewell has to fire. Rims out though. Rebound to Laettner. Here come the Pistons pushing it now. Grantwood cut off by Spreewell. Hunter again. A replay.
Unbelievable start.
9-0 Detroit.
On 3 shots.
You don't need your calculator to know that they're 3 for 3 outside the arc in the first 2 minutes.
They're fired up for this game. They were truly embarrassed on opening night by this Knicks team. A Knicks team that played without Ewing, as you mentioned earlier.
And they didn't need to look at a videotape to remember that as Spreewell gave it up. So did Houston. Charlie Ward. Good look at it, and he knocks it down. We've had 4 buckets all outside the arc because this is the red, white, and blue basketball we should be playing with tonight.
Ward's first points in a long time because he didn't score against the Bulls.
Inside to Grant from Laettner. So 3 Pistons have scored, 11-3 already. Pistons have yet to miss a shot.
Laettner's very good with that over-the-top pass, and of course Grant Hill, excellent hands.
Inside Houston, feathers it home. Out on Houston, they were yelling traitor, traitor at him on opening night.
He doesn't hear those barbs anymore.
Stackhouse 1-on-1 against Houston, who has improved as a defender. Jerry fires and scores. Pistons lighting it up right now.
That's going to be our game within the game, Jerry Stackhouse and Allen Houston, because they are guarding each other.
13-5 Detroit. Ewing on the opposite side to Spreewell. And he got so Spreewell's first two, 13-7.
Spreewell, Ward, Houston, all have scored for New York.
Pistons continue to knock them down with perfection, 6 for 6. Stackhouse with a couple of field goals. Last time this club came in here in New York, the Pistons shot a paltry 38%. That's why they lost opening night.
Detroit was still trying to find itself that night. It was so early in the season. Roles were still being distinguished. No longer.
Charlie Ward with a knuckleball.
Now all of a sudden New York's been able to heat up. They've knocked down their last 4 shots in a row.
So it's 15-9. Toss to Grant. From behind, he was fouled by Allen Houston.
Fouls on Allen Houston. That's his first, team's first.
One thing Jerry Stackhouse talked about earlier today in terms of going against Allen Houston, not only having to try to defend him, but make him work on the offensive end. Hey, he's going to have to defend me as well, and then we'll see what effect that has on his overall game.
Houston on Grant this time. Hunter called for it. Good ball fake. Missed it. Rebound inside Laettner. Took it away from Ewing.
How about that? Their first missed, and they get a second chance opportunity.
And Lindsey Hunter was toppled to the deck. Ward picks up the foul. But Laettner continues to rebound the basketball, Greg.
He's got good inside position here, goes over the top, gets a little bit of a fingertip on the ball, and then enough presence of mind to corral it.
Lindsey Hunter fires. Rebound Ewing. Spreewell, a nose for the rim, but he was out of control. No foul, although Spreewell thought he was hacked.
Sometimes you make a move where you are just challenging the official to blow the whistle, and you don't always get that whistle. Spreewell had no intention of making that basket. He was totally trying to draw the foul.
Inside Ewing, very deep position. So Ewing gets his first hoop, 15-11. Back the other way, Grant. Stackhouse tries, a tray. Now the Pistons have cooled off a little bit, missing their last 3 shots.
And when that happens, Fred, good idea to maybe start getting some movement to the basket. Take it inside.
Spreewell knocks it down.
New York showing that they're willing to get up and down the floor as well, at least early.
But it should be to the Pistons' advantage, this kind of tempo. Stack against Ward. Give it up to Hunter. Lindsey fires. Whistle during the shot. See if they count the bucket.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to count it. And I'm not sure what the whistle was about, to be honest with you. It may have been an inadvertent whistle, perhaps.
No timeout. No timeout.
Officials are saying no timeout as they confer, but Lindsey Hunter's bucket is good.
It's good because when he released the basketball, right about now, the whistle blows.
Albin making sure that it's a good bucket outside the arc. So Lindsey with 3 field goals, all threes. How about that? So as we mentioned, the inadvertent whistle giving it back to New York. And a 5-point Piston lead, almost halfway through the first quarter. Mills leaning on Ewing, forced him out a foot or 2. After a couple of bumps, a whistle before the shot.
So that's where it really gets tough for a guy like Terry Mills, undersized and giving up some poundage, that is, to Ewing, to keep him out of the paint area. Ewing is very strong, but here's that nice lob over the top, which Grant Hill converts.
Former basketball on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Ford. Check out the 2000 Ford cars and trucks at their website, thinkfordfirst.com. Lindsey Hunter with a hot trigger finger coming out of the locker room before the game. 9 points all on Trey. Terry Mills added one as well, so it's a 5-point Piston lead as both teams shooting torridly here. Ewing, no double team help coming until it was too late. Pistons may have to readjust there.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough matchup. You're going to see some Eric Montross in this game. You really need that 7-foot stature to guard Ewing.
Leitner in the cut, but he missed a layup. Just put it up too hard.
And maybe a little too quick.
Spreewell hits another. So he's got 3 straight field goals after an initial miss. 18-17, New York back within a point. Mills tries a trick. Out of bounds to the Knicks.
Of course, Terry Mills isn't going to knock down every 3 he takes, but you certainly would like to see a good percentage of them go, especially with Ewing roaming. You got to make him pay for leaving his man.
So New York can take its first lead. They go back to the big fella. Still no double. Now comes from Lindsay. That left Ward wide open. No rotation on Ward, and you know he can hit the 3.
Yeah, and now New York every bit as hot as the Pistons were when the game started. They're not missing.
They're 9 of 11 stroking the ball. T. Mills, 15-foot pop. Spreewell on the push against Stackhouse. He is fouled. Count the bucket. Spreewell looks for a 3-point play.
These guys are tough right now, and they're in a running mode. They're getting the ball up the floor very quickly. But here you're going to see the double. The ball is kicked out to Charlie Ward. And his second 3 of the game, nothing but the bottom. And now Spreewell puts so much pressure on you as a defender because he's coming to you right in your face, keeps you off balance as a defender. Jerry Stackhouse trying to recover, gets a little piece of the arm. Spreewell knocks it down anyway for a 3-point chance.
The Knicks enjoying a 16-3 surge here, but they're 10 for 12 from the floor. That's 83%. Stackhouse into Latham, tries again. Back out to Lindsay. Good ball movement. Stackhouse almost threw it away. And that time he did. Just forced the issue a little bit too much.
Yeah, Jerry Stackhouse probably should have taken that jump shot once the ball was kicked out. Real tough once it's rotated. If you don't take the open shot, you try to take it inside, you're going right where all the traffic and the defense is.
5-point Knicks lead. Pistons led 9-0, don't forget. Houston keeps the onslaught going.
Wow. These guys are putting on a shooting show right now.
25-18. Backdoor cut Stackhouse. Nice flip to Mills. Very patiently puts it down.
You know, every now and then Terry Mills will remind you that he once was a terrific post player, certainly with that move to get his defender in the air and then duck underneath.
And with the ability to use the glass. 25-20. Ewing. 4th time we've seen this. Spreewell lost Grant Hill. Missed. Rebound Later. Keep in mind, Spreewell is only a 41% shooter, so you know he's going to cool off eventually. At least you hope. Stack. Rebound Later on the way down. Now he has Johnson on 6'11" against 6'7", and that's a generous size for LJ, although he is still very strong.
You know, Fred, one of the reasons why I think you see so many guys in the league shooting below 45%, it doesn't mean that they can't shoot the ball. Guys are prone to take a lot of tough shots. If you pretty much concentrated on taking good high percentage shots, shots when you're open, not shots with a hand in your face or shots where you have to go up and double clutch, you see a lot more people shooting nearly 50%.
Jerry Stackhouse pop free and scores. You're sounding more like a coach now. 25-22. It's a 3-point game.
That's what all my coaches used to tell me. Take good shots.
Coming up on 3.5 to play in the opening quarter. Stackhouse shadowing Houston. Good ball denial there. Spreewell trying to lose Grant Hill with a short shot clock. Has to force. Grant stays on his feet. Spreewell. Almost basket interference twice. And then Marcus Camby, who just entered the ball game, tips it home.
I talked with Coach Larry Drew yesterday about Marcus Camby, and he's a guy because he roams. They don't really run plays for him. You really got to know where he is at all times.
Houston pulled down the rebound. Knicks with a hop in their step right now.
Really.
Houston knew he'd get the whistle on the up fake. And now Houston will shoot 2 when we come back out of the timeout. But the Knicks setting the tone with 71% shooting. That's why on the road tonight they lead by 5.
You've gotta think Ford first.
This new Ford Explorer from your Metro Detroit Ford dealers and I have a lot in common. For starters, we're both powerful and agile.
Player of the game, just call 1-800-530-0FSD anytime during tonight's broadcast and place your guess. If it matches ours, you're eligible then to win a McDonald's Family 4-pack and tickets to an upcoming game. Jerome Williams comes off the bench for the first time tonight. And the Pistons certainly will need his energy, especially with Camby coming off the bench. But the Pistons began perfectly, hitting their first 6 shots, but have pulled off considerably 3 of their last 11. That coincided with New York getting red hot.
Yeah. Not only do you bring Jerome Williams at this stage for his rebounding, you bring him in for his defense. Hopefully he can get something started, and the Pistons can cool the Knicks down.
So Houston, the first of 2. Signed plenty of autographs here, so he's still begrudgingly a favorite at the Palace, because I'm sure Piston fans often wonder what might have been had he stayed here, but then you wouldn't have Jerry Stackhouse in this team too, so maybe it'll all be a wash in the end. 29-22 New York. Stack lost it, pulled down by Kurt Thomas. Houston misfires, long rebound to Grant. Grant's only taken 1 shot so far. Here comes the turnover, 2-on-1. Grant thought he was fouled. Spreewell bouncing to Ward, blocked! After Ward had lost control. Lindsay with a hustle play. Grant rises, scores!
That's the part of his game that he has a lot of confidence right now. No longer can you play off and give him the jump shot, invite him to shoot it, because he will, and he'll make it more times than not.
And he's expecting to, and maybe that's the biggest difference of all, through all those hours of work. 29-24. New York goes to work. Can be a bump and a score. 31-24. Grant sizes up Spreewell, but Thomas was ready for a double team. Good look inside to Stack. Latrell stops on a dime. Oh, didn't get the roll. Houston put it on the floor, throw it away. Jerome Williams leading the run, 3-on-2. Keeps it himself, puts it down, and he's fouled.
He certainly will not shoot the hurt the shooting percentage, that is, by having that prayer go down. But Jerome Williams did the smart thing. He knew there was contact. He knew it would be going to the basket, so hoist it up there. It may go in. You get the 3-point opportunity. Right now, contact. Now get it up there. He actually had good concentration all the way through the shot.
That was the word I was going to use. Chris Childs comes off the bench. Charlie Ward sits down. Jerome is no longer the field goal percentage leader in the NBA because he doesn't have enough field goal attempts. That's his 192nd right there. But it's a 3-point play for the Junkyard Dog. It draws the Pistons within 4. New York is 7-0 when they score 100 points. So they can beat you in up-tempo, but they throw it away to the coach, and he didn't want it. The fiery Jeff Van Gundy.
Yeah, and those kind of unforced errors really get his goat. And he's one of those guys always preaching concentration, concentration. Well, they had a major lapse last night against Chicago, as you said, almost lost.
4th miscue for New York. John Crotty running the point for Lindsey Hunter. He's played well of late. Michael Curry off the bench too. Crotty called for it. Grant finds Curry instead. Michael scores. He's a 50% shooter, by the way. Over the last 15 games, as that ankle is fully healed, and you can see it resulting in better jump shot consistency. Camby fouled by Latrell.
A moment ago, Grant Hill, how much respect is he getting now? Just keep an eye on that area right there. When he gets into the lane, count the Knicks in the paint area. 5 before he kicks it out to Michael Curry.
Under a minute to play in the quarter. Pistons down a deuce. Houston against Curry. Allen split the D. Blocked by Latrell.
Oh, man, consumed.
Allen, I think, thought he was going to have an easy path to the bucket, but Laettner closed.
Yeah, because generally, once you're able to split two defenders, well, you've got a free path to the basket. But look at Laettner on the adjustment. Just knocks that little finger roll out of there.
Only 3 seconds to shoot. Houston has to save him, and does. He's such a dangerous shooter.
You know, you really got to play out in Houston without the ball. You got to bump him, make him really work hard to get it, because once he gets it, he's just so tough.
Laettner in the block. Almost walked, almost moved the pivot foot. Stayed home, though, as Curry goes to work. 10 seconds in the shot clock. Curry fades. Didn't get the bounce. Now New York could work the final shot of this quarter. For them, an explosion with 33 points in this quarter. Off the foot of Camby, they throw it away with 1.8 to go in the quarter. Camby intercepts, and that will finish the first 12 minutes at the Palace. Pistons came out red hot, hitting their first 6 shots. Lindsey Hunter was on fire, had 9 first quarter points. And it looked like they might put this New York club in a big hole, but Patrick Ewing and company awakened. So after 1 quarter, it's 33-21 Knicks on Fox Sports Net. All right, as the NFL playoffs enter the divisional playoff round this weekend, get all the analysis, forecasts, and latest information on Fox Sports Football News, weeknights at 6, only on Fox Sports Net. Second quarter commencing at the Palace. John Crotty running the point for Detroit. In the backcourt with Curry, it's Laettner, Hill, Williams up front. Grant one-on-one was Latrell Spreewell. Tough little shot.
But made to look so easy right now.
He has really perfected that fadeaway. And then Thomas threw it away to a hustling Jerome Williams,
who has 2 steals since entering the game.
This is looking to tie here. Curry. Offensive foul, I believe, yes. One official was going to rule it one way, and then the official out high overruled him and made the call of the charge. Probably a pretty good call.
Yeah. A lot of Knicks waiting in that lane. So you really have to be cognizant when you drive. If they collapse, somebody's going to be open outside.
Houston's first 3 try is perfect. He's a 42%er out there, now has 11 points. Knicks by 5. Grant pulls up. A little bit too firm. Loose ball foul. It's going to be on New York this time. Marcus Camby picks it up. Camby, who was much maligned at the beginning of last season because of the departure of Charles Oakley to Toronto. But once he settled in and became really a mature teammate, they love him now, his presence, the activity that he gives this club off the bench.
He showed his value in the playoffs. And he was as much a part of that surge to the conference finals and then to the NBA finals as anyone.
Grant shakes and bakes, goes inside and scores!
Now there's the slashing ability. Okay, he's knocked down a couple of jump shots. I'm thinking as a defender, I gotta get up on him. Well, the moment you do, he's able to slash right by you.
36-33 is the New York lead. Crotty defending Childs. Now the offense is totally gone stale here for New York. Rebound Laettner again. Stays with it. Ball kicked by Thomas. Should be Piston ball, and it is.
Laettner's doing some dirty work. I mean, he's really banging in there and taking a beating, but standing in there nonetheless. He got hit numerous times that time trying to secure the basketball.
But really over the last 7 games, and look what we're talking about, the rebounding, 10.5 a game. Just took the words out of my mouth. He has just gone after the basketball. Crotty inside, and now a foul Detroit's way has Alvin Gentry incensed. Foul is on Crotty. Here's a look at the Pistons' upcoming Sprite Family Nights. Get 4 tickets, 4 soft drinks, 2 t-shirts, and a large Domino's pizza for as low as $69. Go online or call the Palace box office to order.
You know, that's why I make the comment, while Grant Hill is throwing up all the 40-point games and averaging, you know, nearly 35 a game over the last 7, it has coincided with Laettner's best basketball as a Piston as well.
Curry battling Houston. 10 on the shot clock. Crotty picks up the foul. Trapped a little bit too hard on help out.
Well, the official down there in the face of Jeff Van Gundy, they're going at it, and the official saying, okay, Jeff, enough.
Van Gundy may be small in stature, but I'll tell you what, his fire never stops burning. He is an intense coach. New York with a 3-point lead. They force Spreewell out high. 5 to shoot. Camby should have caught it with 2 hands. I think he could have. Ball nearly thrown away. Is thrown away. Spreewell with a steal on a 2-hander. Spreewell with 10. Always the flair for the dramatic.
Spreewell truly active and a very good defensive player. He's been a member of the NBA's all-defensive team before.
Crotty in a pick and roll, goes inside, ran out of room. Curry passed up a shot.
Oh, they're getting away with 3 seconds right now. Actually, they got away with 5 seconds because both Laettner and Williams expected Curry to shoot the basketball. When he didn't, they were caught camping.
So we have played almost 3 minutes of the second quarter. The Knicks showing no effects early on anyway of playing last night. Down 5 here to the Knicks, and all of us around the NBA and the small fraternity broadcast this game with heavy hearts, as they do in other cities tonight because of the loss of Bobby Phills and the tragic car accident today in Charlotte, and just to really hit you hard.
You know, as unfortunate as that may be in terms of the NBA family, the most tragic part of it, Fred, is there's a wife and 2 kids without a husband and a father now. Our prayers really go out to that family.
Nine 21 to go here in quarter number 2. Pistons led this thing 9-0, don't forget, when New York suddenly caught fire. And now the game has settled down a little bit. Opening night here, the Knicks led by 21. And the Pistons spent all night trying to play catch-up, cut it to 7, and that was the closest they would get, you may recall. Spreewell, one-on-one with Hill. Good matchup. One of the marquee ones tonight. Spreewell off his leg. So Grant stayed home again defensively. Credit him with the forced error, if you will.
And if I'm not mistaken, Spreewell's gone the entire way, as has Laettner and Grant Hill up until now. Grant Hill just checking out.
Grant started tonight, by the way, number 9 in minutes played per night at 39. Spreewell, number 3 in the league at 41 minutes a night. Here comes Loy Vaughn. 4 for 4 from the floor was Loy on Saturday night against Minnesota. And Alvin Gentry would love to try to find minutes for Loy, but it's tough with Laettner and Williams playing the same position. But he knows if Loy can find that consistent jumper, he's going to earn time. Crotty went the opposite hand. Double team. 7 on the shot clock. Stacked back in. Rebound chased down by Childs. Chance to pass, and it worked. Camby has 6.
That's New York at their running best, and they do that a lot when Patrick Ewing is off the floor.
Curry directing traffic. Now Vaughn comes up with Stackhouse in a 2-man game. 5 to shoot. Crotty fouled by Childs. We did not expect this move to the baseline.
New York's last success was because one of their guards came back and got a nice rebound, while their forward, Camby, streaks out on the wing and gets a breakaway dunk.
While Patrick Ewing gets a rest. Ewing, of course, had the Achilles tendonitis, which caused him to miss first month and a half of the season. Continued to be, well, shall we say, surly with the New York media, which is not hard to do. But it went back and forth where Patrick refused to talk to him. In fact, he was fined a couple of times by the NBA because of not complying with media access rules. Patrick didn't care. For him, that's a chump change, 10 grand.
Yeah, easily. You know, the thing that just really fascinated and even irritated a lot of people was the fact that, you know, when he was out of the lineup last year in the playoffs, you know, the thought that this team was better without him. It's ludicrous. I mean, you take him out of the game and you have one way of attacking, you put him in the game, you got another way. I think it just adds to your versatility as a team.
40-34, Knicks by 6 with the ball. They clear the floor, LJ against Michael Curry. Too hard. Rebound Kurt Thomas, but I think he pushed to get it. Yes, he did. So give it back to the Pistons. That was Johnson's first shot, believe it or not, tonight. Pair of ones dueling each other, Hunter and Childs. Stackhouse against Johnson. Falls away. Tough shot. Stack has 9.
I think he had it in his mind, Fred, the entire time. Even though he was backing down on the bigger Johnson, he was going to take him all the way.
40-36. Spreewell along the baseline. Misfired. Look at Jerome. Scale the rafters to pull that baby down. Stack against Johnson again. Attacks him. Scores again. He knows he's got the quickness factor going for him. And 2 buckets in a row for Stack. Give him 11. He leads the Pistons scores. 2-point game. Spreewell fires. Never bashful. Lott couldn't get the rebound. Thomas did. Camby almost over and back. Thomas overblocked for 2. Kurt Thomas, just a banger, a tough guy, and a good guy to have coming off your bench. 42-38. Whistle away from the ball. Foul is on Larry Johnson holding Stackhouse, especially since Stack did this to LJ the last 2 times down the floor. Good ball game at the Palace. 42-38 New York, halfway through the second quarter. Upcoming Sprite Family Nights, get 4 tickets, 4 soft drinks, 2 t-shirts, and a large Domino's pizza for as low as $69. Go online or call the Palace box office to order. Got to be wary of pins. She hasn't done anything with the Patrick Ewing doll yet, but being nice. Let's see what happens in the 4th quarter. Patrick continues to rest here. Pistons sort of feel like they're a part of the Atlantic Division here. This is the first of 5 straight games against Atlantic foes. Washington here Friday night here on Fox Sports Net. Then Saturday in Washington. Then in New York on Monday, which we'll have on Fox Sports Net. And ditto next Thursday at the Meadowlands against a vastly improved New Jersey team. Nets are no longer a gimme on the schedule with the way they're playing. Jerry Stackhouse has really struggled at the line of late, even though he continues to wear a path to the strike. He was 8 for 14, for example, Saturday night. And his fiance even said to him, hey, step it up at the line. You're a better free throw shooter than that.
Well, at one point, the Pistons had 4 guys shooting over 80% from the line. Now they have just 1, Grant Hill.
Camby was hunked by Jerome Williams. Larry Johnson bowls over Michael Curry, but it's a blocking foul on Michael. That could have gone either way.
And if it had gone the other way, how big would that have been? Because you would have had 3 fouls on Larry Johnson, and he would have certainly been heading towards the New York bench. That was close.
Houston pops out against Stackhouse. Got him up and up fake. Missed it though. Rebound Curry. Somehow trying to get it to Stackhouse. Ball goes off Jerry. They may overrule that. I think that went off Houston. Hugh Hollins is there. He was near midcourt but may have had a better view of it. He's the crew chief here among the officials and properly calls Detroit ball.
Yeah, you're going to see Allen Houston get a fingertip on this right there. And of course, his hand going in the motion of the way the ball went out of bounds. So the correction that time.
Well, the Pistons still just a 3-point shot away from time. Stackhouse against Houston. Five on the shot clock. Lindsay off his own foot. Turnover.
I got to tell you, Allen Houston's a little tougher defensively as well.
Playing in New York will do that too. Gives you a thicker skin. Toss to Stack against Childs on a switch. Bullet pass. Loy Vaught open, missed it. Rebound, Kurt Thomas.
Good recognition by Stackhouse. He saw Thomas coming as a help side defender, quickly gave it up to Loy Vaught, who had the open shot.
Ball knocked away. Lindsey Hunter, foot race, should win it. Does, foul, score. He goes to the line.
Now here's a guy that can truly play defense. The Pistons' best on-the-ball defender. Here's what. Knocks it away from Childs as he was surveying the field. Now Childs tries to catch him and dislodge the basketball unsuccessfully. Lindsey Hunter with a 3-point chance.
But you see that so many times defenders, either you're going to foul the guy hard or just let him go, and I'm sure it drives coaches crazy.
Oh, yeah. You never want to give up a 3-point play on a breakaway.
But that's what happened.
Yeah, you foul him hard enough to give him nothing but 2 free throws, or you let him go.
42-42. Not that we're complaining that Chris Childs made that error. Childs on the right-handed pound, almost threw it away. Larry Johnson missed the trip. Rebounded Jerome Williams. Done a fine job of the glass so far tonight. Jerome goes inside. Didn't lose Camby though. He was a very good shot blocker. This is a 9-2 Piston surge. Grant lost the grip and still scored. He's got 10. Ball just kind of popped loose a little bit from his right hand and he stayed with it.
But when you're in a zone, sometimes those things can happen for you. And the zone has been an extended one for Grant Hill because he's been shooting lights out for 3 weeks now.
And he, again, has that body language like he knows he's going to make that shot. Pistons by 2 at the foul. Just to pick up where he left off as the NBA Player of the Week. He says no big deal. He has no real explanation as to why.
I think it's kind of hard to just go by last week, because it's easy to score a lot of points when you're feeling good. I've always said when you're in rhythm and your shot's falling, it's easy to score. You want to play every night.
Well, he's certainly doing it right now. Allen Houston, tough little fadeaway himself, though. He's got 13.
Speaking of shooting it well.
And there were those who thought that Hill and Houston really weren't the right mix here. That's one of the reasons why Allen departed. I'll never buy that argument. Grant goes to work against LJ in traffic. Put it down! Despite the late emergence of Camby. Oh my, he's got a dozen. He's 5 for 7 shooting the ball.
That was an incredible move. Again, I marvel at Grant Hill's ability to have the dribble alive and then explode, accelerate from nearly a standstill while dribbling and get to the basket and beat people. So he's got the ball. Now all of a sudden he explodes and he elevates and he gets there before the help side defense can effectively come over and do anything.
New York down 2. Houston one-on-one with Stackhouse. Jerry has taken this as a personal challenge tonight. Houston says, you got to get up on me tighter than that. Give him 15 now. He's outscored Stack by 3 in that battle. Toss to Grant. Give him 14. You were mentioning during the timeout that you didn't think the Pistons were looking for him enough.
Yeah, now all of a sudden he's very involved. Watch the back cut, though. He makes one move mid-key area. He's overplayed by his defender, then quickly back cuts to the basket. He beats Spreewell, and Stackhouse gave him the ball right in stride.
48-46. Now Hill on defense. Spreewell got away from him, then feathers it home. Spreewell himself has had an outstanding game, but does. He and Houston, 27 of the 48 New York points. Stack one-on-one. Good first step. Put it up? No. Stays with it? No. Rebound to the Blue Shirts. Pick and roll, Childs and Camby. Knicks moving around. Spreewell to an open Childs. The ball fake lost Hunter. Chris Childs misfires though. Rebound to Mills, who's back on the floor. Up front now with Jerome and Hill. Stackhouse threw it away. Spreewell threw it away as well. Lindsey back to Stack. Standing there is Ewing behind the back. Grant! Oh! They would have come out of their seats had that tomahawk been effective. Grant will shoot two.
Well, first you've got Stack with the courage to wrap it around his body, sort of mesmerizing Ewing, and then Grant Hill elevating. He's going to dunk on Ewing and just gets the back iron, but picks up the foul nonetheless.
Ewing not a shot blocker, of course, nearly like Dikembe Mutombo. Here's a look at the Pistons' upcoming Sprite Family Nights. Get 4 tickets, 4 soft drinks, 2 t-shirts, and a large Domino's pizza for as low as $69. Go online or call the Palace box office to order. Grant came into this ball game a torrid 82%er at the line. He hits them both. Detroit by 2 again. Shaping up as a heck of a second half. Now we see these two teams swap hoops. Childs checked for 3, hit it.
Now Ewing that time gave the basketball up because he noticed no one was guarding Childs on the opposite side of the floor. He was not doubled, but very unselfishly found the open man.
Grant threw it away. Jerome Williams was expecting a shot. Can't fault either one of them really there. Just didn't connect.
Check out Ewing as he surveys the floor. Here's Ewing. Now he peeks, and right over to the other side, just to the far right side of your screen, there's Childs. Wide open.
Almost looked like he had a toe on the line there. In fact, it was a 2 instead of a 3. So it's 50 all. Ewing bangs into Mills. The fadeaway does not go. Terry stayed home that time defensively. Lindsey looking to push. Blocking foul, I believe, on Childs. It is so. One-time New Jersey net who signed with his club as a free agent. Been sort of maligned, which I guess goes along with playing in New York. Just about everybody has been maligned one time or another, no matter the sport. But he signed a big free agent contract, and some wonder whether he was worth the bucks. Lindsey tries again as Charlie Ward checks back in for Childs. But it's really a pretty nice combo that Van Gundy has at that position.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? The other thing right now, these teams are tied at 50 because they both shot the ball incredibly well. Right now, both teams shooting at a 58% clip. That is incredible. And a lot of it coming outside. Some good one-on-one moves. Again, whichever team emerges as a defensive team in the second half, that's the team that's going to have a huge leg up on winning this game. We'll find out who that'll be.
Spreewell determined to get off a shot, missed it. Ball tapped in, though, I believe, by Camby.
The X-Man, the X-Factor.
So Camby has 8. Back the other way, Stack. Lays it up? No, but he was fouled. Again, the attacking mode the Pistons have been in gets them back to the line.
Spreewell's going to make his move inside. Now, this is what I was talking about earlier. You know, difficult shot, but it gets tapped in. But, you know, those are reasons why Spreewell and others shoot 41%. Now, the other point I want to make, Camby, they have not run a single play for him in this game yet, but because of his ability to roam and roll and just find openings on the floor, he's having an impact on the offensive end.
Stack will try again. He's 33 of his last 56 at the line. That's just not like him.
That's not like him at all.
80%er all season long. He just hit a speed bump in the season here. He split all 6 of his free throws here tonight. 52 all. Spreewell against Hill. Pulls up this time. Missed it. Rebounded Terry Mills. Grant sizes up Spreewell, who picked his pocket. 3-on-2 New York. Camby called for it. Pistons will get the ball back. Now Houston has Leitner on it. Grant with a near steal. Ball goes off the head of G. Hill. So 12 seconds to shoot for New York. 2:16 to be exact on the game clock. Houston with 5. A floater that goes. Allen Houston 17 first half points.
He has an answer for any defense you apply to him.
Stackhouse has to hurry. A long one. No. Pistons took a little bit too much time getting that ball up the floor that time and really didn't get a very good shot to close the quarter. So as a result, the Knicks with Patrick Ewing and Allen Houston leading the way, lead it 54-52 at intermission. Now for a look at what's ahead on Fox Sports News, primetime after the game. Let's send it back to the Fox Network Center in Los Angeles.
This Fox Sports News Sports Break is brought to you by Gillette Mach 3 Razors.
Hi, I'm John Kelly at Fox Sports News here with this Sports Break. Charlotte Hornets swingman Bobby Phills was killed instantly in a 3-car.
By GMAC. Before you shop for a new GM car or truck, call GMAC at 1-800-32-SMART. They have experts on hand to tell you about great deals and answer your financing questions. Call GMAC today. Well, an electric atmosphere here tonight at the Palace as the Pistons and the Knicks do battle. Knicks by a field goal at intermission. All right, let's take a look at our halftime numbers. Brought to you as always by Dodge. Look at the shooting. 60% for New York, 57% for Detroit. Yes, teacher, you are correct.
I mean, how else do you explain this? As I said, both teams were blitzing the Nets. I mean, they were knocking down shots from everywhere, playing at a fast pace. Both teams comfortable with it. Let's see which team comes up defensively. As you look at everything else, is pretty much even, Fred. Right here in New York, Detroit, that is, with a few more free throws, they've gotten the ball in the paint area. But right now, everything else pretty much even. Defense is going to determine the winner of this game, clearly.
I still maintain New York is going to start finding a lid on the basket before this night is over. This is just a middle-of-the-road shooting ball club, and keep in mind they did play last night where the Pistons are pretty well rested. But we shall see. Back with the start of the third quarter on Fox Sports Net. Patrick Ewing in the lineup. The Knicks lead by 2 at halftime. Ewing has 4 points so far, but with all due respect to the perennial All-Star, Jerry Stackhouse doesn't mind number 33 back in uniform for this ballgame.
I think it benefits us because they are not as much up tempo as they are without him. So, I think it benefits us knowing that we can, knowing he's going to get his touches and we're going to try to go down and double team on him and force him to, find other guys. And he's had some problems, over his career of playing out of the double team. So hopefully we can put a lot of pressure on him.
We're spoken by a guy who doesn't have to guard Patrick Ewing either.
Exactly. I was thinking the same thing as he was speaking that stuff.
Ewing early on did not draw any double teams and made the Pistons pay with a couple of early buckets. And then down the floor came New York. Camby, though, gives them that freewheeling running style. Camby, at his size, is as good as there is running down the floor. So when Patrick's on the floor, you're going to see more of a half court, right?
Well, the one thing that you have to do when he's on the floor, Fred, you have to give him some touches. Now, when he gets his touches in the paint, New York doesn't have a lot of movement because Patrick is backing down, and then attempting a shot. If it goes in, fine. If it doesn't, they rarely get an offensive rebound. Conversely, when he's off the floor, as you saw in that piece, they zip it up the floor. A lot of guys touch it. They're a much quicker team.
Well, Grant Hill, a torrid first half. He only missed 1 field goal, as a matter of fact. Check out his shot chart. All good shots. 7 of 8.
We talked about this in the break now. 7 of 8. You wonder, well, how come he hasn't taken 15 shots in the half since he's so hot? Well, Grant Hill hasn't forced anything, and he's pretty much taken what has been allowed within the confines of the offense. And when you're the player of the week, you're going to start to get a little bit more defensive attention each time out.
Start the second half with Grant handling the ball in this offensive set. Layton over Larry Johnson. Need to get Christian involved, and Larry Johnson picks up his 3rd foul on a real cheapie.
Oh, yeah. And he doesn't like it. But I don't think it's enough to get him on the bench because it is the second half. But now it puts him at least in a tentative situation because now he's not going to want to pick up that fourth, which would put him on the bench.
He just picked up a technical foul. Now in college that would mean also a personal, but at this level, of course, just a tech.
In college it wouldn't cost you $500. So, you know, right now he's $500 lighter in the pocket as a result.
Pick your poison. Laettner gets his first point tonight. So no surprise that the Pistons immediately went to Christian to try to get him involved in the offense a little more.
Yeah, I think it's going to be important that at some point he does get involved. We talked about his rebounding in the first half, but no points, and that's a concern.
Now he's going to try for three. Johnson still talking to himself. Christian with a near double-double Saturday night. So he indeed gets the trifecta. The old style. 55-54, Pistons by 1. Hunter hawking Ward. Mills fronting Ewing. Allen Houston to Patrick, and he scores. Ewing with 6. Knicks back in front by 1. You could conceivably be looking at a first-round playoff matchup right here between these two clubs. Stack, cut off by Houston on the baseline. Bullet pass to Lindsay. Thought about 3, now has to. Scores as an afterthought. How about that?
I was about to say this. The toughest shot to make is the shot you take as a second thought, because normally you do not have rhythm.
Allen Houston was doubled up. They left Charlie Ward open. Missed it this time. Rebound. Ewing over the back of Mills. That's called 7 feet against 6'10".
Oh yeah, I was about to say, when it's a jumping match between Patrick and Terry, take Patrick.
58 all. Lindsay, a long track. That was partway down. Knicks trying to break the tie. Ward all the way with a lefty scoop.
Ward with a little hang time. Mini hang time. Not a lot.
So give him 10. 60-58. Grant, nice look inside a step.
That's what happens when you move without the ball. When you quickly throw it into the post, if you move right away, rarely will your defender be ready to defend you, because the defender generally relaxes when the guy he's guarding gives the basketball up.
Ewing looking for a double team. Not coming now, does momentarily from Grant. Ewing lost it out of bounds.
The last Piston play successful because look at Stackhouse. He gives it to Grant Hill and then immediately goes to the basket. And look at Allen Houston trailing the play. He didn't expect Stackhouse to get it back.
Lindsay fights it off to Grant Hill. Tries a tray. First tonight. Rebound Ewing. Ward didn't look comfortable with that dribble. Now shot clock under 10. Ewing on the other side, this time against Laettner. Christian bumped him, fouled him, no bucket. Second foul in Christian as the 37-year-old Patrick Ewing steps to the line. Oh, it's actually a foul before the shot, so just an inbound. Houston attacks Stackhouse, leaves it for Ward. Charlie Ward's off. Long rebound to Grant. Running opportunity. Foot race, 3-on-3. Grant lost the handle. Stackhouse neatly laid it in. That was a tough shot.
It certainly was, because he had to ward off the defender, Spreewell, and then extend the ball out with his right hand and finger roll it all in the same motion.
Dr. J would have been proud. 62-60 Pistons. Spreewell, the bounce feed to Larry Johnson. Taking very few shots tonight. Rattles out. Rebound. Ewing was too deep to get it. Hunter cut off by Ward. Stackhouse on the drive again. On the drive, he was fouled. Fouled by Allen Houston.
Here's the run out, and watch how Stackhouse holds off Spreewell, elevates, extends, and finger rolls Even after a poor pass that slipped out of Grant Hill's hands.
Had to score on the way down. That's what made it so tough. Stack again. Almost an identical shot, but Ewing bothered it. May have gotten a piece of it. Houston cut off by his pal Hunter. Didn't matter. So the two guys who came into the league in back-to-back picks, Houston and Hunter, winning what nose-to-nose there. Allen with 19 now.
But a little bump got Lindsey Hunter off of him, just created enough space for him to launch the shot.
62 all. Two-man game, Hill and Layton. 10 on the shot clock. Grant sees it as a challenge. Too strong though, rebound to Ward.
This game has had several long stretches, Fred, where there have been no whistles. The officials not being a factor here. I think that's good.
Spreewell spinning and scoring. Usually when he gets it out high like that, he's going to put the shot up. Just a matter of what form. Knicks by 2. Mills readjusts and scores. 64 all.
Again, it's important that Terry Mills is a scoring threat, because when Ewing is in the game, he's floating around in that paint area looking to be a help side defender.
Houston comes to the ball, then cuts to the rim. Gave it up though. Larry Johnson tries it. Trey missed it badly.
Chicago saying, where was that last night?
When they were up 1 and Johnson drained a triple to ice the ball game with 40 to go. Hunter, stutter step drive. He was bumped hard, ran right into the brick wall chest of Larry Johnson. And LJ picks up his 4th foul. So Lindsey with some quickness there. More than 5 minutes gone in the 3rd. We're still dead even. Michigan sports history and the popular Get in the Game segment are waiting every week inside the locker room. Join Eli, Gibby, and Gary for the locker room, presented by General Motors, Monday night at 7, only on Fox Sports Net. Jerry Stackhouse in his battle with Allen Houston continues to be nip and tuck. Both shooting very well. If Stack made his normal amount of free throws, he'd probably be at least tied anyway. Stack knows what Allen Houston meant to this ball club and to the town, so that's just part of the backdrop of this rivalry. Hunter looked at the shot clock and now shows 5. Has to create something. Leitner passed up a shot. Grant has to fire a tough one. Leitner off the ball fake and a wide open look. Just not so sure he realized it.
You know, that goes back to what I've always said, and you've heard me mention it numerous times now. Leitner is a good but reluctant outside shooter.
64 all as New York goes to work. Kurt Thomas back off the bench. Gets the pass, lays it in softly. Kurt Thomas with 4. 66-64 Knicks.
That was Charlie Ward on the fine.
Lindsey with a long tray. Got it again. Boy, has he got that zoned in tonight. He's got 5 triples, 19 points for the point guard.
I'm really surprised they keep leaving him.
He's only missed 1 tray in 6 attempts. Knicks down 1 as they go to work. Toss to the big guy. Ewing spinning baseline, missed it, just lost the grip, went off the palm of his hand. Pistons down the floor. Stack had it knocked away by Spreewell. Detroit ball. 20 to shoot.
Again, though, a moment ago, Ewing got the ball inside. Everybody's standing while Ewing works. He worked himself into a pretty good shot, just missed it. But that's the biggest contrast when he's on the floor and when he's not on the floor.
Stackhouse threw it away. Tried to get it to Grant Hill. Houston came off a screen, missed it. Stackhouse was right in his shirt.
Terry Mills doing a sound job in the center position right now.
Lindsey again. He's feeling it.
This is reminiscent of the game that Lindsey Hunter had against these very New York Knicks and Allen Houston's first trip back to the Palace as a member of the Knicks. Remember that? He had 28 points.
I'm more dumbfounded you can remember that. I mean, give me a break. Yeah, I know you're right, too.
It was on fire that night.
Oh, come on. I am not worthy sitting alongside you. 70-66, the Pistons by 4, but look at Lindsey lighting it up in Treyland. or as they say in New York, from downtown. Spreewell, double team, no, threw it away. So did Ward as it went off Laettner. 5 seconds to shoot.
5 seconds.
Check out Lindsey. Who's guarding him? He's gonna be right over here in a minute. Step into this picture, Lindsey. Nobody's guarding him, Fred.
The shot, the Pistons on the run here. Stackhouse, alley-oop toss, too tall for Laettner. Jerry's turned the ball over too many times tonight.
Yeah, he's one of the league leaders in that area of turnovers. That's the only negative you can find with this game. But Fred, in that situation, you got to know your personnel. You throw that to Grant Hill, or you throw something like that to Stackhouse, but you don't throw it to Christian Laettner.
And Jerry's defense is based on really being unselfish. He's not trying to create showtime. He's just trying to create too much. And then Childs with a dagger sticks along two at a toe in the line. Makes it 70-69. The scoreboard should show 68 because that was a 2. See if they change it. Grant got too deep. Lindsey again. Misfires. Rebound to the Knicks. They're checking at the scorer's table to see if that was a 2 or not, but I think it was. Latrell Spreewell misfire. Rebound pulled down by Stack. Hunter spinning into a shot. Laettner right there. His first field goal comes under 4 minutes to go in the third quarter and brings the crowd to its feet.
The important thing there, Lindsey Hunter did not get his shot blocked. So he eliminated Patrick Ewing as a rebounder, and Laettner stepped into the gap, tapped it in.
April 12th of 1992, Pistons and Knicks squaring off in a defensive battle, I'll say, in which the two teams would combine to score only 133 points, the second fewest total in NBA history. The Pistons did beat the Knicks that night, 72-61. That's tonight's Mercedes moment. The NBA record, by the way, for fewest points, 119, back in 1955. Back to work we go.
Won't have to worry about any of that tonight.
We passed that already. Kurt Thomas on the pull-up. Gives him almost 9 points a game. Usually takes shots that are not forced. 72-70. Pistons by a deuce. Camby's going to come off the bench at the next whistle. Stackhouse in a cut, goes inside. Ooh, Ewing fouled him. Thought they weren't going to call it, but the late whistle will put Stack at the line.
Calls on Patrick Ewing.
Ewing picking up foul number 2. So Stack goes back to the line, trying to refine his stroke. Do you notice anything different that he's doing at the line?
Not at all. I mean, he's got the deep knee bend that he's always had. He's got exactly the same follow through, set up and follow through. You know, so much of free throw shooting in my mind, and shooting in particular, in general, is confidence. You just need some successes to regain it.
Well, maybe that'll help. 2 in a row. 74-70. Terry Mills back on the bench. He's worked hard tonight. Jerome Williams replacing him. Williams matched up with Kurt Thomas. Camby's off the bench, taking over for Ewing. Shot clock shows 7. Houston to Thomas. Good position in the box. Jerome stayed home. Blocked a part of the shot. Here comes Grant. Childs cut off the penetration of Hunter. Laettner screens for Lindsey. Touch feed to Stack as he dives in the lane. Good look to Lindsey. A trade try. Got it again!
Every time Chris Childs leaves Lindsey Hunter to go help out, he gets burned.
I'm telling you, every time Lindsey Hunter, if you look at his three-point shots, when he's able to step into that shot, he'll make more than he'll miss.
Stackhouse occupies several Knicks. Poor Chris Childs, he's got to run over from where he thought the pass was going to go. Just keep your eyes on Childs. He's right there guarding Lindsey Hunter. Now, as the play goes through, watch Childs. He's going to leave. Now he's going to come over to Grant Hill. And when the ball is passed back out to Lindsey Hunter, no way will he be able to recover in time.
Lindsey has tied his career best with 7 triples. Look at that. He's only missed 1 en route to 25 points. All right, here's a look at the Pistons' upcoming Sprite Family Nights. Get 4 tickets, 4 soft drinks, 2 t-shirts, and large Domino's pizza for as low as $69. You can go online or call the Palace box office. Wizards here Friday, followed by Allen Iverson and company at the end of the month. 77-70. Pistons with their biggest lead in quite a while. Reach and foul. Lindsey Hunter on the double team. Not much contact there. Lindsey's facial expression, the blank one, tells you he didn't agree with it. Never one to argue, though. It's his second foul. Pistons have stayed out of foul trouble here tonight very well, though. Only 2 team fouls in the quarter. Spreewell forced that shot. Rebound to Lindsey. Oh, when Spreewell says, I'm going to shoot it, he's going to shoot it.
Puts his head down and goes with it.
Michael Curry off the bench for Detroit. Grant Hill against Spreewell. Plenty of time to shoot. Goes inside, scores, and a foul.
Now they are starting to put a little distance between themselves and the New York Knicks. And it's not because they're clicking on the offensive end. Pretty move by Grant Hill here to get inside, and there's the contact right at the basket. No, they're doing it because they're starting to play a little bit better defense. New York has cooled off. They don't have the same ball movement and sharing of the basketball and people movement that they once had, and they're struggling to score points.
We've watched Grant Hill play just about every game he's played as a Piston. I cannot ever recall a stretch at this level where he has showed so much confidence with the ball. Not in a cocky sense, but just knowing that he can't be stopped right now. He's in that kind of zone.
That's a nice feeling to know you can't be guarded.
80-70. Detroit, their biggest lead. Hard trap on Spreewell. Forcing a timeout. I mean, Lindsey Hunter squeezed that trap as hard as you could without fouling again. Forcing New York to talk about it rather than cough up the basketball. The Pistons, though, on a surge thanks to Lindsey Hunter hitting 3 balls like they're layups. The Pistons by 10, and Grant Hill knows this game, and the next 3 are so vitally important.
Ultimately, you want to win the series. You know, I think we've been fortunate against teams that we played 4 times this year that we've won the series. We've played Atlanta, we've beaten them 3 times. We've played Milwaukee, we've beaten them 3 times. So if it ever got down to a situation where it was a tiebreaker, we'd have the advantage, and that's critical. And both these teams we've played once, and they've beaten us once. So it's imperative that we come out and you know, it'd be nice to win them all.
Sure would. Lindsey has to force over the short shot clock. Oh, is he feeling it tonight? He was fouled. He'll look for the old-time 3-point play. That basket is looking as big as Lake St. Clair right now.
Hey, Lindsey Hunter's getting them in threes now. Even when he gets the 2, he's going to get a 3-point opportunity. But, you know, again, you just talk about being confident, being in a rhythm. And there are times within a game where if you're hitting shots, all of a sudden, Fred, that basket does eventually start to look a little larger to you. For New York as a team, it's shrinking.
Lindsey Hunter only with 15 points in this quarter. 83-70 Detroit. Illegal defense against the Pistons. It'll be a warning.
They got 2 guys inside.
Alvin explaining defensively where his guys were.
Hey, you hear what he just said to me? He said he can't go in the inside line. So make sure the tackle's in the inside line.
Illegal defense, I still say, is one of the toughest calls for officials to make and for coaches to explain why it was. I don't even attempt it, you.
And for broadcasters to understand. Because there's rarely consistency.
Chris Childs with a dish. Larry Johnson misfires. He's had a woeful night. No field goals yet for LJ.
Detroit has been the difference. Defense for Detroit has been the difference.
This is working the shot clock. Lindsey has to fire. A rebound pulled down by New York. Under a minute to go in the quarter. Pistons have held them to 18 so far. But New York has gone stone cold here in the quarter. Larry Johnson still without a field goal. Christian Laettner came down with it. Hunter says, why not? Goes inside, the dish to Grant, block, goaltend or a foul. I think it's a foul on Camby. no bucket. Grant will shoot 2.
Detroit in an all-out attack mode. I mean, they just continue to run. And what happens is it has a wear-down effect on the opponent. Right now, New York lazily getting back, and even when they do, they don't match up. They don't stop the ball. So they are right now clueless as to how to defend Detroit.
And you can't hold anything back knowing you're playing this club on Monday. Get treated as a separate game. You don't worry about bruising any ego for New York.
Right, send that message.
John Crotty back in the ball game.
For Lindsey Hunter, who got a great ovation.
No wonder. With his 15 points in the quarter, 28 for the game. Knicks have gone scoreless since Patrick Ewing went back to the bench. They're down by 15.
They don't need him, though.
John Crotty on a foul. Pistons had 1 to give.
His third, first in the last 2 minutes.
Detroit will get the basketball back with at least 7 seconds to shoot. Knicks have been stunned here. Near steal by Curry. Kurt Thomas drops it off to Larry Johnson. He was fouled. He'll look for a 3-point play. But it took Larry Johnson almost 3 full quarters to get his first 2 points. Keep in mind he averages 12 points a game.
The thing that happened on that play, I don't think Michael Curry wanted double team help from Jerome Williams. When Jerome left Larry Johnson made a cut to the lane. I think Curry felt with the shot clock winding down, I can handle Kurt Thomas. Let's not break down defensively by doubling.
Johnson makes it a 3-point play, trims it to 85-73. Pistons with time to get off a good shot here. Crotty to Jerome Williams. Leitner rebounds at the horn. But clearly it was the Lindsey Hunter show in the 3rd quarter, turning a close ball game into a double-digit lead. Now will New York be able to respond? Patrick Ewing isn't quite so sure. Grant Hill is, as the Pistons looking to start another winning streak. Back with the 4th quarter on Fox Sports Net. Getting a well-deserved rest to start the 4th quarter. I'm sure his right wrist is a little tired right now.
Lindsey from everywhere, and then here creates his own opportunity and gets a 3-point opportunity. Look at his shot clock, shot chart that is. A lot of activity outside that arc.
Got 7 trays made so far tonight. Johnson attacks Curry, draws a double from Crotty, determined to get off the shot. Rebound too tall for Camby. Here come the Pistons. First 4th quarter possession, up 12.
Detroit needs a solid 3 to 4 minute start to this quarter.
Curry misfires, rebound Camby.
Because New York is going to make a hard charge here, try and get this under 10 and then farther. Detroit has to be, they have to expect this.
Johnson right now the go-to guy. Childs a long 2, he hits it.
And it gets it right back to 10 even. Cannot afford to have a 2, 3, or 4 minute period where you're not clicking offensively.
Crotty with the off arm. Hard to believe that he's strong enough to bowl over Kurt Thomas. But once Thomas felt the contact, he flopped and picked up the whistle. 4th foul on Crotty.
You worked much too hard to get the big lead. The last thing you want to do is give it away and give it away quickly.
So the Knicks have scored the last 5 points to get it back to 10. Looking to chop more up the deficit. Childs threw it away because of Crotty's defense. John in the foot race. He was fouled. So Crotty amends for the foul a moment ago, and he'll shoot a pair. They see the players, some are calling the nation's most exciting little guy when guard Rashad Phillips leads the Detroit Titans against Butler in an important conference test. Catch the college hoops action Saturday at 2 here on Fox Sports Net. A lot of people feel that Rashad Phillips will play at the next level. Do you think so?
Well, I thought Earl Boykins would play at this level. And it's been tough for Earl thus far. But, you know, Rashad's a fine, diminutive player. If you shoot the basketball, that will certainly help him.
We'll see him Saturday here on Fox Sports Network. So Crotty makes it 87-75 with his first 2 points tonight.
One thing about a small guy in this league, it's got to be the right team. It's got to be the right situation.
Johnson directing traffic. Again goes to work. Look at Curry stay with him. Should have been an offensive foul. Johnson got away with it there. But the officials ruled that Curry had rocker heels and went down. But it was close. Johnson with 4 now. Leitner. Offensive foul against Thomas. So Leitner has to give it up. Thomas drew it.
Okay, what's missing from this Pistons attack that they had throughout much of that third quarter and the game? Fred, there's no ball movement. There's no people movement. There's one-on-one basketball, maybe a little too much of it, and New York has stiffened a little bit, and the Pistons are not able to have any success on the offensive end. They've got to become a more active basketball team, even in the half court when their run out is not there.
Allen Houston dumps to LJ. You saw Patrick Ewing return. He's way outside the arc. Now he goes down low. Guarded by Bott. He wants the ball. Instead, Childs fires. Misses. Rebound. Camby tried to throw it down. Couldn't do it. But it's Ewing and Camby on the floor for the first time tonight. Grant on the pull-up. Got it! 23 for Grant.
That helps because now for Detroit, that gets you, back to feeling like, okay, we can score. And sometimes that also has a tendency to help you on the defensive end.
Grant's 9 for 13, stroking the ball. Houston came over to get it. Shadowed by Grant Hill. Grant cut off the pass to him. Childs goes inside and scores.
I'm looking at Patrick Ewing. Fred, he looks to be lumbering a little bit. Remember, this is the second game in 2 nights for New York.
Marcus Camby jammed his left hand. He's a one-armed defender right now. He's on the far side of the floor. Pass to Grant. Camby with the one hand put up a stop sign. 3 to shoot. Hill fires, rebound, Jerome Williams. Wanted that one more, light it in!
He wanted it more. He was strong against Ewing to get the rebound. Equally as strong against Camby to get the putback down.
91-79, Pistons matching with toughness right now. Houston in the box against Grant. Childs has been their hot hand. Continues to be so.
He sure is. He's looking like Lindsey Hunter now. They wear the same number.
Except he's playing unfairly, shooting 2s instead of 3s. 10-point game as Crotty attacks the defense. Fouled on the drive. Second foul on the Knicks in the quarter. But the Pistons continue to work hard, trying to keep this double-digit lead at home. Pistons still clinging to that 10-point lead here in the fourth quarter. Let's give you tonight's mobile speed pass. Remember this one? Jerry Stackhouse and Grant Hill hooking up. Watch the beautiful delivery as these guys continue to develop the chemistry. Allen Houston, the beaten defender there, and our mobile speed pass of the game. Patrick Ewing so far tonight, when he's been in the ball game, add up the 2 numbers on the top side, 57. When he's been on the bench for 16 minutes, they've only scored 24, so they really have dropped off.
And they drop off tremendously in that inside scoring department. That's a good stat. Great job, crew.
Pass to thousands in there. No wonder they came up with that number. Lloyd Bott setting the screen, he moved. So give the ball back to New York. Grant Hill getting a rest. Sitting down with 23 points. You saw him automatically expect him to score 30 now.
Yeah, you'll soon be saying, hey, he was held to 29. Well, stuff like that. That's when you know
ball
you're a
denial.
superstar.
Excuse me, great ball denial by Lindsey Hunter against Allen Houston. So they go to Ewing. He's trapped hard. Look at Curry. Spreewell. Here comes a shot. And it goes.
That's a tough shot. That runner down the lane. Very little margin for error. Spreewell made it look easy.
Spreewell 9 for 20 shooting the ball. By far more shots than anybody here tonight. Stackhouse rises. And he was fouled. Spreewell picks it up. Should note that Chris Childs fouled out. That last foul as we went to break was his 6th.
I'm a little surprised. You know, he was shooting a hot ball, no question about that. But he's on the floor with the 5 fouls. And I guess they felt with Crotty in the bench in the game at the time, no problem, we can leave him in there. Lindsey Hunter was on the bench. But to lose him, and he was shooting the ball so well, that's a problem for New York.
Stack has 20. It looks to me over the last 3 free throws, he's getting more legs into a shot. Maybe coincidence, maybe not. But maybe he's over-accentuating right now, and he's hit 4 in a row. Any truth to that guess?
Perhaps he's back. You know, every shooter feels like you got to have the legs a part of the shot. He looks to be getting a little bit deeper knee bend than in the past on the last few shots, as you indicated.
Pistons by 10 again. Ewing looking for a double team. Comes late from Curry. Had to go baseline. The patent turnaround jumper to the baseline by Patrick Ewing. How many has he made in his career of that variety?
Almost 23,000 points worth. Patrick well within range of that milestone.
Lindsey somehow got it to Vaught. No. Rebound. Lindsey saved him there. Still with time. 5 on the shot clock. Has to fire over Houston. Rebound Vaught. So at least he amends for the missed shot. Coming up on 6.5 to play in the ball game. Stack will fire. Nowhere near rebound. Larry Johnson. Not the shot that Alvin Gentry wanted. Hunter continues to defend Houston. Ewing had it flicked away by Vaught. Pistons have sent a variety of defenders at Patrick Ewing tonight. Right now, it is another Wolverine defending him. Pistons lead by 8, almost halfway through the 4th. Basketball on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Pontiac Driving Excitement and your local Pontiac dealers. By Sprite, obey your thirst, Sprite. And by McDonald's. Did somebody say McDonald's? Patrick Ewing continues to try to save his team. Let's check out who is hot, brought to you by Mr. Allen's. Certainly Hall of Fame credentials, no championship ring, and perhaps that might be the blemish on his ledger. But the other numbers tell you he is headed to Springfield, Massachusetts someday, and as Greg mentioned, just shy now of 23,000 points. They go to Ewing, trying to add to the total, and he does. So give him a dozen. That's what he's averaging right now, coming off the Achilles injury. Just over 12.5 a night.
And down 6, this is a tough game now. Detroit's going to have to gut this out. This could go down to the wire.
This is led by 15. Terry Mills, no. They have not been getting off good shots here the last 3 or 4 times down the floor.
As was the case as Detroit shut down New York and got a big lead, a double-digit lead. New York has cut Detroit's water off. A lot of it is because Detroit is not getting a lot of ball movement and people movement.
Ewing was fouled. He was looking for a 3-point play. So Patrick steps to the line for 2. He has said all along, I'm not worried about back-to-back games. I've done it for so many years. Yeah, I'm coming off the Achilles injury, but leave me alone. I'll be fine. I'll handle it. And he's answered the bell tonight. We'll look now for his 14th point. New York has made this comeback methodically, cutting it to 4. I had the feeling the Pistons had it really well in hand.
I thought New York may have a run. It's a good team. It's a good Knicks team.
This is a 10-2 surge by New York. Hunter eyes a 3. Now he's starting to miss from out there.
He's missing. Pistons are getting one opportunity. All while New York's confidence is starting to grow.
They need to put the ball in Grant Hill's hands.
I agree.
Ewing attacks Mills, goes to the glass and scores.
He's looking vintage Ewing right now.
Now they're going to have to start doubling him, forcing him to give it up. 93-91, and the Knicks, you better believe, are right back in this baby. 8 for 11 shooting the ball in the 4th quarter while the Pistons have gone dry. It's been a game of surges all night, so we're down to under 5 in a 2-point ball game. Knicks have cut it to 2 here at the Palace. Under 5 minutes left. Here's tonight's game summary brought to you by Pontiac. Houston and Spreewell, 38 total points. So pretty good defensive job for Detroit, especially with Hunter's 28, just 10 shy by himself. And Detroit outscoring the Knicks by 15 at the line, and with 5 more field goals outside the arc. So you would think by those numbers the Pistons would be up by 8 or 10. Instead, it's just a deuce. They do put it in Grant Hill's hands this time. Baseline. Pull up. Let's go.
Good place to go.
Give him 25.
And I would keep him busy the rest of this game.
Absolutely.
But now defensively, how will they defend Ewing? Well, they've made one adjustment. They're putting Laettner on him. Terry Mills out of the game.
Let's see if they send a double on him as soon as he puts it on the floor. And there's, boy, a real cheap foul. But Hugh Holland's eyeballing Laettner. Again, that's the rule institution this year of less contact in the box where you cannot dislodge the offensive player. So Laettner picks up his 5th personal foul.
And New York, of course, doing the smart thing. They're looking in repeatedly to the big guy because he's doing the job right now. Haven't heard from Spreewell or Allen Houston in a long time.
This season, Ewing has not been the go-to guy. Spreewell fires. Nope, out of bounds to Detroit. In effect, Ewing has become a 3rd or 4th option for the Knicks because of the emergence of Allen Houston and Spreewell. Now Alvin Gentry making sure the guys get off a good shot here at the other end.
If you're the Pistons, you got to be real happy that Spreewell cut to the baseline, asked for the ball, and took the shot as opposed to clearing out and letting Ewing go one-on-one.
Stackhouse goes away. Johnson now defending Grant Hill. Rebound Spreewell. The chess match continues here at the Palace. Both coaches looking for defensive stops as they tinker with their lineups. And Grant Hill fouls Larry Johnson in the post. 3rd on the Pistons in the quarter. Knicks also have 3 team fouls. We're under 4 minutes to go. Houston pulls up. Lindsey Hunter blocked him. Down the floor to Stack. Foot race. Stack with 23, and Lindsey shutting the door on his pal, just the way he did Ray Allen, another 2 guard, last Wednesday night.
Not only did he block the shot, he got the retrieval, and he got the assist on Stackhouse's finish.
Couple of buckets, they lead by 6. 3:45 to play at the Palace. Here are the upcoming Piston games on the tube. We'll have them with the Wizards Friday night here. Then Saturday, George and Kelly take him to the MCI Center. Then New York and New Jersey, back-to-back games around the Big Apple here on Fox Sports Net. But Allen Houston scoreless in the 4th quarter. No coincidence, Lindsey Hunter has been guarding him. Maybe we'll see more of that in terms of minutes for Lindsey on Monday in the rematch. And then a foul on New York. Hunter was wiped out on the screen.
Lindsey Hunter has done a lot tonight. Helped this team big time offensively, and now helping them secure the game, or at least attempt to, with this defensive effort.
Houston defending Hunter. Stackhouse against Spreewell. Stack looks at the shot clock. Takes the one-on-one challenge. Has to give it up. Finding Laettner with time. Fall away. Rebound in New York. Knicks still in the ball game. And then some. 3:10 and ticking in the 4th.
Jerome Williams, 3rd defender in 3 trips down the floor against Patrick Ewing.
And a double. Results in a steal. Stack again. Open floor. Goes. And he was fouled. Had he not lost the handle, it would certainly have been a 3-point play. He was banged on the eyebrow. He'll shoot 2.
Fred, just almost out of nowhere, the Pistons have toughened defensively once again. Look at that double team. How effective was that? They got a piece of the ball. Laettner got the errant loose ball, and Stackhouse runs out and gets fouled. But now the Pistons have scored 5-6 straight points, that is, to gain the 7-point lead.
Stack has hit 5 straight at the stripe, looking for point number 25. That's the kind of free throw number we've grown accustomed to from Jerry.
That's the 6th point in a row for Detroit. From their 93-91 lead to this current 99-91 lead, New York has not scored the last 4 trips down the floor.
Stackhouse, Hill, and Hunter all with 25. 99-91. Stack defending Spreewell. Doesn't want to foul here. Spreewell hops inside. Good first step. Spreewell has 18. 99-93.
Had some quickness on that first step, did Spreewell.
Stack with it. Gonna get a screen from Williams. Goes opposite. Now they trap it. Jerome pulls up. Hits it!
You know, you talk about confidence. That's something that Jerome has. I mean, there were times in the past where he never would have taken that shot, but he went in there, took it confidently and knocked it down.
Stackhouse and Spreewell tangled up. Spree misses. Rebound, too tall for Camby. Loose ball foul on Detroit as Camby goes down. Grant Hill picked up the foul. Inadvertently low-bridged Camby. Who appears to be okay, although he hobbles to the line.
Well, let's take a look at it. High rebound, up goes Camby. He and Grant Hill, they get a little tangled right there. Camby got the benefit of the contact and the whistle.
It was more of a foul after the two had come back down to the deck. So Camby limps to the bench, replaced by Charlie Ward. So now they go smaller. Ewing called for it. In traffic, blocked by Laettner. Ball squirts out to Ward, though. Somehow he puts it up, but he misses. Grant Hill comes out of it. Near steal, foul, Patrick Ewing or Ward? It'll be Ward whom they give it to. Third foul on Ward. It'll put Grant Hill at the line, so the Detroiters certainly have answered the challenge of New York.
Yeah, after both teams blitzed the Nets in the first half, we made the statement that it was going to take a defensive surge from somebody and be able to sustain it. That team would probably have a leg up on winning the game. Well, it's been Detroit. They've had 2. They had one to end the third quarter where they outscored New York by 12, and now they're in the midst of one.
First one down. Grant Hill at the line tonight, 6 for 6 as Camby in some pain over there. Because you know they would want him on the floor here for crunch time.
Back to a 10-point lead.
A decisive answer by the Pistons after New York had cut it to 93-91. They've outscored them in this stretch now, 10-2. Spreewell had to readjust because of Stackhouse, and Ewing somehow got in there for the tip.
But now Detroit has no reason to hurry. New York's going to try and make them hurry a little bit by trapping.
3-possession game for New York. Laettner almost walked. I think he got away with it. Jerome missed it, though.
That's what I mean. They forced Detroit to hurry. They made them think they had a high percentage shot. They didn't take a lot of time off the shot clock, and New York's got the ball back.
Unorthodox defense, but it worked. Houston goes inside, puts it down. See, the Pistons needed to burn time a moment ago instead of taking a shot. Now the door is ajar again.
Yeah, you have to have the discipline. You have to be able to avoid what may look good because of the situation. The situation dictated that they hold it out, take time off the clock. But they played right into New York's hands. And it ends up with Allen Houston going inside and getting the little half hook in the lane and a 3-point opportunity.
Because with 1:12 to go in a 3-possession game, you really had the game firmly in your grasp. If you milk the shot clock down each time. Now the Pistons are going to be forced to score at least one more hoop here to put this thing away. Laettner has fouled out. Houston's first 3 points of the quarter. Makes it 103-98. New York trapping. They break it with a quick pass. Now they got a burn clock.
Because New York will, at this point, they'll take their chance on their defense. They're not going to foul. Unless it's someone going to the basket for a layup.
Lindsey almost lost it, put it up. Rainbow doesn't go. Rebound tap! Left-handed by the junkyard goal.
That was big. That was big, and it's got Jeff Van Gundy bumming big time. They needed that possession.
Jerome Williams with some chest dumps. His 8th rebound, giving the Pistons a lead of 7. 39.8 to go.
7,000.
98 Detroit. Palace crowd enjoying this one, especially after this recent sequence.
Lindsey Hunter's going to elevate. Shots off. Jerome Williams cleans up the garbage. And that gives Detroit the 7-point cushion that they currently enjoy. And Alvin Gentry, who has been going through all kinds of gyrations on the sideline, love it.
Larry Johnson attacking. Gave it up to Ewing. Open look, and he hit it. Ewing serving notice. He is almost all the way back. A 12-point fourth quarter for Patrick. He's got 20 in the ball game. 33.2 to go. Detroit by 5. Europe's going to have to foul here unless they come up with a steal. And they do, fouling Lindsey Hunter, who was banged in the eye. Charlie Ward poked him. So assuming Lindsey can get the focus back, he will shoot 2 with 32.5 to go. Important that he would hit both here, of course, pushing it to a 3-possession game. Hunter looking for his first points of this quarter. 1 is down. Camby still sits. Never got official word of what his injury was. Lindsey rattles out the second, so New York 2 3-point shots away from possibly tying. Instead, Ward goes inside. I don't know about that decision. They go for the quick 2, it cuts to 4, but again, they're going to be forced to foul Detroit.
Leave the ball alone.
Alvin Gentry wanted a delay of game warning against New York. Spreewell got a piece of the pass. I don't know about the Ward quick 2, do you?
You would have liked to have stopped the basketball and forced them to use a little bit more time before they score, if they were going to score.
So Stackhouse toes the line for 2 more. Free throw shooting percentage for the season back up to 79. And I think he's got his stroke back at the stripe. He's hit 7 straight. Yep. 27 for Jerry Stackhouse.
3 guys tonight in the high 20s for Detroit.
Charlie Ward had it poked away, and on a foul, Jerry Stackhouse has to be careful he doesn't pick up a tech, too. He vehemently argued.
Well, what Stackhouse was trying to do that time was avoid having New York do what they did the last time down, and that's Ward go straight to the basket and score in a matter of 3 seconds. He reached in and got called for the foul, though.
Well, I think that was a clean knockaway. And that could be one of those things. Lindsey Hunter does it a lot. Maybe he would have gotten away with it. Stack did not. Camby back on the floor after Ward missed the free throw. Johnson's frustrating night about to end. He sits down with 4 points. Ward again will try to cut it to 5. 18.4 to go. .108, 103. Pistons looking for a clean inbounds. Grant with it. Finding Michael Curry. And a foul on Marcus Camby. So it puts Curry at the line, a good free thrower as well. Alvin Gentry has his most precision-like free throwers out there, along with Jerome Williams. So with 16.2 to go, Curry can kick it back to 7. Coming up on Fox Sports News primetime after the game, more on the heart-wrenching story out of Charlotte and the reaction to the untimely loss of Bobby Phills. Lakers and Bucks highlights, and the Barry Sanders watch continues out of San Francisco. That's next on Fox Sports News primetime. So the Pistons lead by 7 after the Curry freebie. Larry Johnson tries a tray and hits. 110-106. And they foul Grant Hill with 7.5 to go.
New York has fought to the very end. They're coming down. They're scoring quickly. But what the Pistons are doing to their credit right now is knocking down free throws.
That's been this club's MO all season long. Detroit came into the game number 4 in free throw percentage in the NBA.
Allen Houston forcing Curry to come over and help out. Larry Johnson, who hasn't had enough of these go down tonight, able to knock one down there.
Grant gets the first. Give him 28. Continues to be perfect at the stripe tonight. 9 for 9 and 29 points. How about that? Hill, Hunter, and Stackhouse have combined for 82 of the 112 Piston points. We'll be back for the final 7.5 seconds. Pistons by 6. Away from their 19th victory of the season. Here's tonight's McDonald's player of the game. If you guessed correctly, Lindsey Hunter. Not a bad choice, huh? Look at the three-point shooting for Lindsey. 7 for 10. And again, 29 points leading the Piston score sheet. If you guessed correctly, you're eligible to win a McDonald's Family 4-pack and take us to an upcoming game. Join us for our next broadcast to see if you won. That will be Friday night against the Wizards, and the Pistons definitely will be thinking payback as the Wizards came in here a couple of weeks ago and beat Detroit.
Lindsey, Stackhouse, and Grant Hill nearly combining for 90 points.
Spreewell scores. Give him 20, but he has truly had to work for those. 11 for 25. You'll take that if you're Alvin Gentry. 4.3 to go. Pistons calling the timeout. Just making sure that they get a clean inbounds and nothing silly happens here.
You know, Fred, they've really turned it around. Since that 0-4 start, Detroit will now, after this game, be 8 games over the 500 mark. But I think it's clearly a sign that the players have realized their roles, they've understood them, and more importantly, they've accepted them.
Well, this win would put the Pistons a game and a half behind New York in the jumbled Eastern playoff picture. You know, you go anywhere from 3 through 7. I mean, you can put a hat over those clubs. And of course, New York with the number 3 spot coming in. Detroit, not assuming they're going to make the playoffs, but they know how important home court advantage is in the first round of the playoffs. So, if at all possible, to get into the top 4, of course, is their goal. And New York feeling the same way. So it'll be a Piston inbounds. Again, we'll see these two teams Monday afternoon, 4 o'clock. Note the early start time on Martin Luther King Day on Monday. And I'll be wondering if Allen Houston's going to be looking at Lindsey Hunter more than just the fourth quarter in that game. You think?
I got to think so. Especially with the way he started off here. It would be interesting to see that happen.
Well, Lindsey played Ray Allen all 4 quarters last week. And Allen, one of the better 2 guards in the league, went 6 for 17.
See, as long as you don't have the 2 guard posting up and doing damage out of the post, you can guard Lindsey on a 2 guard because he's certainly going to be able to stay with him out on the perimeter.
Grant the toss to Stackhouse. Charlie Ward fouls him. 3.9 to go. Well, we're getting our mileage out of these final few ticks here. Stackhouse doesn't mind. He'll try to add to his scoring ledger.
How about this? If he can make 2, he'd have 3 players with 29.
I guarantee you that doesn't happen very often. Okay, when did it happen last time, wise guy?
I don't know that it's ever happened. I don't know.
Probably never. Stack indeed with 29. And the Pistons come up with a hard-earned victory giving New York its first defeat this season when they score 100 points. They were 7-0 in that department coming in, but not tonight, and the Pistons won that battle of tempo. And a show of acknowledgement between Hill and Houston. They'll be teammates in Sydney, Australia later this summer, but foes to be sure right now, as the Pistons and the Knicks will meet again Monday afternoon, as right now the season series is tied at a game apiece. But a good win, obviously.
A tremendous win because it keeps them on their hot streak. Never mind that they stumbled a little bit against Minnesota the other night. The team has won 7 of 8, and they're playing well. Grant Hill is still leading the way, but he has been very ably supported by Lindsey Hunter, who had a big night tonight, had a big night in the win against Orlando about a week or so ago. Christian Laettner playing well. Jerry Stackhouse, big night tonight.
Now a chance to perhaps beat the Wizards 2 straight. It won't be easy, but a team they certainly can handle. Friday night, the Wizards come here for the second time this season. Our live coverage begins with a pregame show, 7:30, and then the 8 o'clock tip here on Fox Sports Net. Now from my partner Greg Kelser, I'm Fred McLeod saying so long from the Palace of Auburn Hills. Once again, it got sticky. The Pistons lead cut to 2, but then they answered, winning going away 114-108 for their 19th victory of the season. You've been watching Pistons Hoops on Fox Sports Net. Now stay tuned for Fox Sports News Primetime. It's next. Good night, everybody. See you Friday night.